When I tell you the internet just exploded, I mean volcano-level eruption. Chrisean Rock has officially dropped the kind of statement that makes your jaw hit the floor so hard it bounces twice. And no, this isn't some random rant. This is a straight-up bombshell about Karon Cann's murder and her on-again off-again chaos magnet who Trophy Bino. Whatever peace she had left. Gone, whatever silence was protecting her. Shattered. She said something so wild, so cold, and so shockingly unapologetic that even Blueface's mom had to pause her daily shade post. Fans are calling it the Chrisean confession, the Karon curse, and the Bino betrayal all in one. It's the kind of quote that doesn't just trend, it hijacks the entire internet. We're talking jaw-dropping, career-threatening, possibly soul-selling levels of drama. It's giving Lifetime movie written by Zeus producers during a caffeine overdose. Every influencer, every gossip page, every rapper with Wi-Fi is reacting like it's Judgment Day. So grab your popcorn. Because what Chrisean Rock just said about Karon Cann and Bino has flipped the internet upside down, and trust me, once you hear it, you'll never look at her the same way again. Brace yourself, this isn't drama. This is digital destruction. It all began like every Chrisean Rock storm does, calmly, almost sweetly, before turning into a digital apocalypse that makes the Kardashians look like church volunteers. Chrisean was on live, baby on hip, edges laid, humming to herself while scrolling through comments. Everything seemed peaceful until one fan asked the forbidden question, what really happened with Karon Cann and Bino? Her smile froze. Her eyes flickered like a warning light before a blackout. And then she said it. The sentence that made the entire internet collectively choke on their popcorn. Don't ask me about Karon or Bino again, both of them knew what time it was. God don't miss. The world stopped. You could practically hear a record scratch echo across Instagram. Within 30 seconds, the comment section turned into a live crime scene. People were typing like FBI agents mid-investigation. What does that mean? She's saying God got revenge? Is she warning someone? That one line, 7 words and a God reference, spread like wildfire. The blogs didn't even have to exaggerate. The quote was already nuclear. Hollywood Unlocked, The Neighborhood Talk, DJ Academics. They all reposted it with captions like, did Chrisean just confirm what fans suspected? The internet went into overdrive. Twitter detectives started pulling up timestamps, matching her tone to old lives, comparing background noises, even zooming in on the reflection in her sunglasses. I'm talking full-scale social media forensics. Someone on Reddit even posted a 12-minute breakdown video titled, The Hidden Meaning Behind God Don't Miss. The crazy part? This wasn't just random drama. This came days after whispers that Bino had gone completely Mia. He hadn't been seen in public for over a week. Number lives, no features, no sneak peeks in the studio. And the fans, who live for connecting dots that may or may not exist, started crafting their favorite genre, conspiracy theories with filters. One viral post read, Karon Cann died mysteriously. Bino disappears. Chrisean says God don't miss. You do the math. Another said she always posts Bible verses before chaos. This ain't coincidence, this is confession. Now, Chrisean's relationship with Bino has always been a circus on roller skates. Love, chaos, fighting, tattoos, and random declarations of eternal loyalty that last shorter than a TikTok trend. They've been seen together, apart, fighting, making up, and allegedly sharing cryptic notes through music. But Karon Cann's name entering that universe? That changed the energy entirely. Karon wasn't just a random guy. Fans knew him from the local scene, a name that carried weight in the West Coast underground. His sudden death was already suspicious enough. But when people began whispering that he had connections with people in Bino's circle, the tension turned radioactive. Then came the rabbit hole moment. Someone unearthed an old video of Karon at a party months before his death, with Bino visible in the background. Add a blurry filter, ominous music, and a clickbait caption. And boom, the internet crowned Chrisean Queen of Mystery and Bino as the man who knows too much. It didn't help that Chrisean doubled down. Instead of clarifying, she started trolling. Hours after the viral quote, she tweeted, "Ain't no guilt when you prayed first." That tweet alone hit 5 million impressions in under 24 hours. The comment section was a battlefield. Half her followers screamed Queen of Real, while the rest were calling her the female Tupac of toxicity. People were editing her face onto Bible verses. remixing her quote into drill beats and making memes with captions like, "When you drop a threat disguised as a prayer." Bino, on the other hand, went full ghost mode. Not a word, not a sound, not a story. And that silence was deafening. Fans began panicking, theorizing that Chrisean's "God don't miss" comment was directed at him. She warning him? She cursing him? She justifying something we don't know yet? One of Bino's fan pages tried to defend him, posting, "Y'all overreacting. We're chilling in the studio." But fans weren't convinced. They pointed out that Bino's recent posts had been deleted, including one with a caption that read, "You can't hide from karma forever." Coincidence? Please, not on the internet. Then came the leaks. Alleged emails, voice notes, and text messages started circulating online. Most of them were obviously fake, screenshots with the brightness turned up. Names misspelled, timestamps from 2019, but logic doesn't stand a chance against chaos. The juiciest one? A so-called leaked voice memo where a woman sounding suspiciously like Chrisean said, "I told him not to test me." It had no context, no proof, no source. But it went viral anyway. TikTokers started lip-syncing to it. YouTubers made analysis videos breaking down her tone, saying she sounded vengeful yet divine. Twitter named it the Rock Revelation. Then came the Bible posts. Whenever Chrisean posts a scripture, the internet panics, and this time she went full Old Testament. She uploaded, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord," with no caption, none, just those 6 words. You could almost hear the collective gasp across social media and the meme factory. Oh, it was an overdrive. One meme showed her in a church pew with the caption, "When you mix prayer with payback." Another had her face photoshopped onto a priest holding a Glock that said, "Holy smoke." The internet was eating good, but beneath there, laughter was something darker, a growing unease. Because this wasn't the first time Chrisean had dropped chilling one-liners after real-life incidents. Fans started revisiting old moments, her fights, her tearful lives, her cryptic captions, piecing together a timeline that made her look like a prophet of chaos. Every influencer, gossip vlogger, and even a few rappers chimed in. One rapper tweeted, "If Chrisean said God don't miss, I'm staying out her way." Another wrote, "Y'all laughing now, but watch how this turns spiritual." Meanwhile, Karon Cannon's family reportedly caught wind of the viral quote. And let's just say they weren't laughing. A cousin of Karon posted on Facebook, "We don't play with God or death. Keep my family's name out your mouth." That added a whole new layer of intensity to the firestorm. Now, instead of just being an online mystery, this had turned real, emotional, painful, and potentially dangerous. Chrisean's fans doubled down on defense mode, saying she was being spiritually attacked by trolls and haters. Others said she was unraveling in plain sight. And the people caught in between? They were scrolling, sipping tea, and waiting for the next bombshell. But this wasn't just another gossip wave. This felt like a storm with no end. A spiritual war disguised as social media beef. A real-life tragedy being twisted into viral theater. And right when it seemed like things might cool off, someone claimed they had unreleased footage, a behind-the-scenes clip from the night before her live. They said it showed her talking to someone on FaceTime, pacing, angry, repeating. He knew what time it was. The post didn't even show her face clearly, but by then, perception had already replaced proof, because in the age of viral scandal, facts don't trend, feelings do. And everyone felt that Chrisean's quote wasn't just words. It was a confession, a curse, or both. But what came next would make even her most loyal fans question whether Chrisean was just being misunderstood, or if she truly believed her own legend as the storm god personally hired. Because the next 48 hours weren't just drama. They were madness. If you thought Chrisean Rock's "God don't miss" line was the end of it, congratulations, you must be new here. Because when Chrisean throws a match, she doesn't just walk away. She stands there and watches the fire burn with a smile, mascara flawless, music playing in the background. The very next day, Chrisean went live again. She looked different, calmer, sharper, like someone who knew the world was watching and loved it. Her nails were done, hair slick, baby in a stroller beside her. "Girl, that's not a defense, that's an admission," one fan wrote. Another said she playing with the devil in HD. But Chrisean wasn't done. She looked into the camera and said, "I don't need to prove nothing to nobody. If you think you know, then you know. But don't forget, karma don't skip nobody." Cue another internet meltdown. Twitter renamed her the Prophet of Petty, and TikTok edits popped up with her voice layered over gospel music. Even celebrities couldn't resist jumping in. Natalie Nunn reposted a meme saying, "When Chrisean said karma don't skip, I locked my doors." Meanwhile, poor Bino was spiraling in silence. No lives, no new music, no responses. Just a few shady posts from fan accounts claiming he's in hiding. A verified gossip page even shared a photo of a black SUV outside his usual studio. Captioned, "Security tight. Sources say Bino laying low after Chrisean's comments." By now, the story had gone global. Reddit threads were reading like crime documentaries. Fans started analyzing her astrology chart, saying she was entering her Scorpio revenge era. YouTube channels with names like the Tea Temple and Urban Confessions were pulling hundreds of thousands of views, off titles like Chrisean's Dark Energy Explained and the Karon Cann Connection Nobody Saw Coming. Then came the memes. Oh, the memes. One viral post showed Chrisean in an angel halo with the caption, "When God misses, Chrisean aims." Another had her sitting in front of flames with text saying, "Lord, it wasn't me, but I understand." The line between humor and horror blurred completely. People weren't sure if they should laugh, pray, or log off. But the attention only made her bolder. Chrisean doubled down with a cryptic tweet. "I ain't scared of death. Death's scared of me." That tweet alone could have ended civilizations. Within an hour, it had over 1.2 million views, and her fans were quoting it like scripture. But the most chilling part? She dropped that tweet exactly 1 minute after a news update confirmed that police were reassessing certain digital evidence in the Karon Cann case. The timing was too eerie. Conspiracy theorists declared it proof she was playing puppet master. To make things worse or better, depending on how much you love chaos, Carly Saffold, Blueface's mother and self-proclaimed CEO of Mess, decided to chime in. She posted a screenshot of Chrisean's tweet with the caption, "See? I told y'all she demonic. God don't move like that." Boom, another firestorm. Fans flooded her comments calling her bitter, jealous, messy, and every synonym for chaos. But Carlisa didn't stop. She wouldn't live herself saying, "That girl thinks she above God, and when you mock God, he humble you." Now, this is where the narrative shifted. Suddenly, people started seeing Chrisean, not just as messy, but mysterious, dangerous, almost supernatural. Fan pages began posting things like, "She's more than toxic. She's spiritual warfare in a crop top." One viral TikTok claimed Chrisean had protection symbols tattooed on her body and was using them as energy shields. It sounds crazy, but it got 3 million views in one night. Then, out of nowhere, a leaked voice note appeared on Twitter. The audio supposedly featured Bino talking to a friend saying, "I can't even talk no more, bro. I said too much already. I ain't safe, real or fake. Who knows?" But the internet believed it instantly. Within an hour, hashtag pray for BI Nano trended again. Fans were crying in comments. Influencers were posting "Stay Strong King" messages. And gossip pages were cashing in on the confusion. Meanwhile, Chrisean was still tweeting Bible verses and selfies like nothing happened. She even captioned one post, "Smile through the storm." Fans said it felt like she was taunting the entire internet. A few people close to the situation allegedly tried to reach out. A producer who once worked with both Chrisean and Bino tweeted, "This ain't even about music anymore. It's about energy and fear." That tweet was deleted within 10 minutes. But screenshots live forever, and just when everyone thought this couldn't get more cinematic, Chrisean did the unthinkable. She dropped a freestyle. Out of nowhere. The song was called Judgment Day. The lyrics? Absolutely spine-chilling. They keep asking about the dead. I say the Lord already handled that. They play with me, then play with fate. And now they can't come back. The entire track sounded like a warning wrapped in a confession. Even her delivery had that eerie calm, like she wasn't rapping, she was preaching. The reaction was instant. Is she confessing through music? She using the mic as a weapon? This girl the new Chrisean villain. Clips from the freestyle hit TikTok and got millions of views. Fans started dissecting the lyrics word for word. One pointed out that when she said "handled that," she glanced upward, meaning God. Or maybe something darker. It became the #1 trending sound on TikTok within 48 hours. Even people who didn't know who Karon Cann was were making edits with captions like, "When Chrisean says God don't miss, but you did her dirty." Bino, on the other hand, was losing his grip. Reports began surfacing that he canceled shows, stopped answering calls, and had moved away from mental peace. Insiders whispered he was paranoid and felt watched. Then one night, a random fan spotted him in a gas station in Vegas, hoodie up, head down, visibly anxious. She recorded it, posted the video with the caption, "Bino looking like he saw a ghost named Chrisean." It hit 4 million views in 5 hours. The symbolism became too strong to ignore. She was thriving, posting, smiling, promoting new music while he looked like he hadn't slept in days. The power dynamic had flipped. Chrisean was no longer the underdog. She was the headline, the storm, the story, and the fans loved it. They called her unbothered, anointed, protected by chaos. But her critics? They were starting to whisper words like narcissist, witch energy, and Hollywood curse. Even Zeus Network allegedly had to step in behind the scenes, worried that her growing unpredictability was turning into a PR nightmare. But honestly, this is the PR, this is the brand. Chrisean doesn't need spin, she is the spin. And as the internet tore itself apart over every syllable she uttered, one thing became painfully clear: she wasn't backing down. She wasn't clarifying. She wasn't explaining. She was feeding the chaos, and the chaos was feeding her fame. But the most disturbing part? She had one more live coming. One that would change everything and make the internet question whether this was still entertainment or the beginning of something truly sinister. The night of that final live felt like the Super Bowl of scandal. The entire internet was tuned in, influencers had their ring lights on standby, gossip blogs had captions drafted, and even casual fans were refreshing their page like they were waiting for Beyoncé tickets to drop. Chrisean had gone quiet for a full day, which in our world is practically a millennium. When she finally appeared, it wasn't the usual chaotic setup. No music, no baby, no jokes, just dim lighting and that unmistakable look of someone about to say something unforgettable. She leaned into the camera, eyes sharp, voice low. "Y'all want truth? Here's your truth. I don't owe nobody nothing. I spoke facts. I ain't explaining what God already handled. If you guilty, stay scared." BOOM, internet detonation. It was the digital equivalent of dropping a nuke in a group chat. The comment section exploded before she even blinked. Some people said she looked possessed. Others said she looked at peace. But one thing was certain, this wasn't the same Chrisean. This was a woman who had embraced her role as both villain and victim in her own story. And then came the line that made everyone gasp. If Bino's scared, that's on him. If Karon gone, that's God's plan. Stop putting me in between what heaven already decided. That single quote became the headline. The blogs went wild. Chrisean says Karon's death was God's plan. Bino's scared for his life after live confession. The most unhinged moment in social media history. It was chaos, glorious. Horrifying chaos. Fans flooded the comments with "she's cursed" and "she's chosen," while others begged her to log off. But Chrisean? She was grinning. "I told y'all," she said before ending the live mid-laugh. No goodbye. No closure. Just silence. Within minutes, the internet turned into a courtroom. Twitter threads analyzed every second of the live, her tone, her outfit, even the lighting. One tweet that went viral read, "Why it looked like the lights flickered when she said heaven decided. Nah, I'm scared." Another said, "She talking like she the director of Final Destination." Meanwhile, Bino's name reappeared on the radar, but not in the way anyone expected. His friend posted a cryptic story. He not talking to nobody. Don't ask. That's all it took. Within an hour, #where's BINO started trending again, with fans theorizing he was hiding out in another state. Some even joked he joined witness protection, renamed himself Bino Rockwell, and moved to Utah. The energy had shifted from funny drama to actual concern. People who once hyped her up were now saying, "This ain't entertaining no more." This getting scary. And still, Chrisean thrived. Every clip, every headline, every outrage-fueled share boosted her visibility. Her song Judgment Day cracked the top 50 on iTunes. She gained 300,000 new followers in a week. Chaos had officially become currency, and she was cashing every check, but out of nowhere. TMZ dropped a headline that made jaws hit the floor. Police reopen case. Investigators reviewing online comments linked to Karon Cann's death. Boom. Instant hysteria. The public lost its mind. Fans started screaming, she cursed herself. While her defenders said, y'all twisting her words like always. That report turned what had been digital gossip into a legal-sounding nightmare. Even though the article didn't name Chrisean directly, everyone knew who they were implying. And that's when the tide began to turn. Her next post wasn't confidence, it was defiance. Y'all can't cancel God's work, she wrote. The caption alone became a trending sound on TikTok. People started duetting it, some laughing, some shaking their heads, others saying, "This girl really thinks she above consequences." Meanwhile, fans were split right down the middle. Half of them swore she was misunderstood, that she was speaking from trauma, not arrogance. The other half said she'd gone full villain, embracing her role as chaos embodied. But in true Chrisean fashion, she didn't care which side people picked as long as they were watching, and just when you thought she might lay low, she did the most Chrisean rock thing possible. She dropped another live, except this time. She wasn't alone. Behind her, a friend whispered, "You sure you want to say this?" Chrisean smirked and said, "I already did." Then she looked into the camera, leaned forward, and whispered, "Don't worry about who gone. Worry about who next." Boom. Again, another explosion across the internet. Screenshots, reaction videos, live breakdowns, endless think pieces. Everyone had something to say. Even bloggers who had sworn off covering her came crawling back. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Chrisean Rock just turned social media into her sermon. And we're all sitting in the pews. By morning, clips of her whisper had hit every platform imaginable. Theories multiplied. Was it a warning? Was it performance art? Was it a threat? No one knew. But everyone cared, and that's the genius or madness of Chrisean Rock. She's mastered the art of making chaos addictive. She doesn't chase headlines. She becomes them. Every word, every glare, every deleted post is bait for the algorithm. In the aftermath, brands began quietly distancing themselves. Bino's team reportedly suspended collaborations. Zeus stayed silent. But Chrisean? She looked unbothered. She posted a selfie captioned, "Covered in purpose." It got 500,000 likes in an hour. The same internet that condemned her couldn't stop watching her. Because love her or hate her, Chrisean is the storm, and the storm always wins attention. Weeks later, Karon Cann's name faded from headlines, but the whispers never did. Did she know something? Was it guilt or prophecy? Nobody had answers. Only Chrisean did, and she wasn't talking. And that's the thing about her, she never ends the story. She just pauses long enough to make you wait for the next chapter. Because in Chrisean Rock's world, silence isn't peace, it's preparation. And if history's taught us anything, it's that her next love will be louder, wilder, and even more unbelievable than the last. So buckle up, because the real plot twist? It hasn't even dropped yet, and that right there, my friends, is how Chrisean Rock turned the internet into her personal courtroom, confessional, and concert stage all at once. What started as one live turned into an entire digital prophecy. One quote became a wildfire, one whisper became a sermon, and one woman somehow managed to make the entire world forget what peace even feels like. This isn't just drama. This is cinema. Chrisean doesn't drop gossip. She drops plot twists. Every word she says becomes a headline. Every silence becomes suspense. And every move makes you wonder, is this performance or prophecy? Is she crazy, brilliant, or both? Honestly, probably both. But here's what you do know. When Chrisean speaks, the timeline trembles. When Bino hides, fans panic. And when you think it's over, it's only intermission. Because if history's any indicator, her next live will come with receipts, tears, and a new viral quote that breaks the internet all over again. So before that happens, do yourself a favor, smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe like you're ducking Zeus producers. And turn on notifications because the next episode of this circus drops any minute. Comment your wildest theory down below. Who's lying? Who's scared? Who's next? This is Trend Tattle, where we don't chase clout, we catch it knitter and slap a headline on it. Stay locked in, stay messy, and remember, in this world, fame isn't earned. It's survived. Now go grab your popcorn. Refresh your feed and get ready, because the next time Chrisean Rock opens her mouth, the internet might not survive the fallout. Trend Tattle, truth. Optional entertainment? Guaranteed. Guaranteed.